I'm a mono.
Well, that's okay. You know, I'll just...
You know, some of us were just blessed.
Just keep on keeping on.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to This Week in MLS, presented by Target. Calen, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was great.
Yeah?
I actually got to moderate a discussion at the Guggenheim Museum for this amazing show called Pelota from Mark Bamuthi Joseph, amazing artist on soccer, dance, theater. It's beautiful.
I saw you looked all handsome in your suit, very professional.
Much. Yeah, and you were
nicely
in LA.
done. I was in LA. We hosted an event for the launch of FIFA 18. There was a gaming tournament out there, so I was sort of the sideline reporter.
Get your game on.
It was really fun. Good to be out on the West Coast. But you know who else had a good weekend?
Who's that?
Toronto. Toronto FC.
Of course.
Clinched the Supporters' Shield to nobody's surprise.
Every week is a good week in Toronto.
It seems that way. They are now, they're at 65 points. They are on the verge of making history, only 3 points off that record that was set by that Galaxy team. So Calen, my question to you is, when a team has achieved as much as they have, like Toronto FC, how do they kind of build on this? How do they keep from sort of falling off the momentum? How do you keep going this way?
There's only one way to go, and it's up,
yeah.
And that's towards MLS Cup. But for the moment, we should probably celebrate their accomplishment. Supporter Shield, no easy task. And the way they've done it is really against the design of MLS. It's not supposed to happen this way, where they've really run through the season pretty casually. Never really led from the front of the pack most of the way. And I thought it was fitting that Justin Morrow gets a hat trick. Their outside back gets a hat trick in the clinching decisive match towards the Supporter Shield. A guy that I think should be featuring for the U.S. men's national team. And the thing that I found really interesting in this one is on his last goal, they're up 3-2 in this.
Yes.
And in the 91st minute, and instead of protecting the lead, he's their outside back making a run to the back post, able to get on the end of it. It just really showed me that this team is looking to put away teams instead of just to sit back and defend. And that's been a big part of Greg Vanney and their success throughout the season. So congratulations, TFC, best in the league.
Yeah, Justin Morrow's been outstanding for
favorites prohibitively for MLS Cup.
That was a fun game. Fun game to watch. Yeah. Okay, so time for our TWIM takeaways.
Yes, please start us off.
TWIM takeaways. So my TWIM takeaway, I would like to talk about the Columbus Crew, who are on an absolute roll right now. They have clinched a postseason spot. They missed out last year after getting to the final in 2015. But they are now, they won 2-0 over DC. They're unbeaten in their last 8 games. Zach Steffen played so well in this game, had so many saves, and Justin Meram's goal was spectacular. What a finish on that one. He's now, I think he's at 13 goals on the season. They're in a groove right now, and this is a team that I think can definitely go on a bit of a run here in the postseason.
Yeah, Justin Meram, a guy that I've been celebrating all season. I think he has a real shot at getting in the best 11, and you see why in this one. I mean, he is able to pick out that back post. Sean Franklin, pick your poison. If you step to him, he can beat you one-on-one. If you step off him, he's going to drain the three, kind of like a little Steph Curry
hit
there.
The bottom of the post.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. No. It was just spectacular.
Special player, and he actually sent me a DM yesterday. He's on his way to Iraq for a friendly.
They're
opening a new stadium, 60,000 people expected
in Iraq.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So safe travels to Justin, and congratulations.
Awesome. All right, what's your TWIM takeaway?
Mine is in Houston.
Yes.
My Houston Dynamo with an enormous 2-1 victory over Minnesota United. And they did it through the play of Kyoto and Elise, the Honduran collection. Elise.
Can we talk about the Panther mask for a second? I literally wanted to bring in a Panther mask today. I was like, do I have time to go shopping and just start the show?
That would be
do
amazing.
One of these. Wouldn't that have been great?
You have a little bit of the same like fierceness, I would say, of a Panther.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
No, I mean, Elise and Kyoto out wide, the 2 toughest matchups in the league. They're a combination of pace and power. You see their strength in the air. And then Sanchez, the old man, a bit of the other side of the coin, reminded me a little bit of Brad Davis in this one with 2 beautiful assists. A huge result from Houston. They dropped some points at home against LA Galaxy earlier in the week, so to be able to claim them and get a bit of breathing room on the Western Conference into the playoffs, big time result for them.
So they are now in the playoff picture as we speak.
Yes.
So this is
Fifth
huge.
place,
There's a whole
43
log
points.
jam right in the middle of that table. So it's going to be interesting.
Still a lot to play for, but big result.
All right, well, let's keep it out west. We had a battle of some Western Conference heavyweights. Vancouver traveling to Sporting KC. They walk out of there with a 1-0 win. They are the first team to beat Sporting Kansas City at home this season. So this was a big one. That Eric Hurtado goal. Oh! Oh, he just controlled that little over-the-shoulder long ball from Jordan Harvey and just kind of lobs it in there. It was absolutely beautiful. They are now, the Vancouver leads the West by 4 points. They're kind of sitting pretty right now. For Kansas City, though, I don't think this is, too much of a blemish for them. I think that they're going to be absolutely fine. But, when you look at what Vancouver and Sporting Kansas City have done, are these two teams that you think are going to be competing to get to Cup?
Absolutely. I mean, the West right now is still pretty wide open, but Sporting Kansas City for me is still the best team in the Western Conference. I think you've seen through some of the Open Cup experience that they have different guys that they can lean on now. They didn't do themselves any favors in this game. Missed penalty, missed opportunity after missed opportunity, and credit to Vancouver for capitalizing on theirs. But I think this is one that Kansas City will look back on if they end up having to play maybe in an earlier round game that they don't want to, that they missed. They
played well in this game, though, too. It's not they dominated possession. They looked really good. So it wasn't. There's not a ton of negative that you can take away from it. But
no, and the West is wide open because Vancouver lost to Seattle earlier in the week.
True.
Of course, the Timbers are right there. The Dynamo we mentioned. If they get in the playoffs, those wingers are going to be able to go at teams, maybe cause an upset in Salt Lake. Dallas, San Jose. You never know with those three. I think there's going to be one spot for those guys.
It's murky.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about it. Let's do a little deep dive into the murkiness in the West. We had the Quakes beat the visiting Timbers 2-1. Diego Valeri's goal streak over.
What do you want from the guy?
He's human.
Jeez.
He's human, everybody. Just so everybody knows, Diego Valeri is human. And then we had RSL tie with the Galaxy thanks to a 95th minute goal from Kyle Beckerman?
Yeah.
What?
Well, left-footed strike as
Kyle
well.
Beckerman?
Coming up clutch from the captain. This is one, I think, when you look at the legacy of a player, of course he's won titles for them, has been a leader throughout, but these are one of those moments where you're like, that goal could get them in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Who knows what happens when you get there, but in the legacy of Kyle Beckerman, this is one of the bigger goals, I would say, even though it was the regular season.
I loved how pumped up they were after that goal, too. That was such a cool moment to watch. And then we had Dallas tying a 0-0 draw with Orlando City. And again, with Dallas, not a great result for them. They need to collect points. They needed to get 3 points there.
A better week for Dallas. There are positives to take out of it. They get the win earlier in the week and take away 4 points from the weekend. Something to build on for Dallas. Being able to get a little bit of a footing. Not a lot of time left, but they're in an okay spot. They need to ride the wave of last week.
I still can't believe we're talking about them like this after the strong start they had. That they are now in,
What'd you say? Them of the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks. Them's the breaks and a big D.
All
Okay. I like alliteration. All right, well, one of the bigger results of the weekend, we had the Colorado Rapids playing serious spoiler to the Montreal Impact. They pick up a 2-1 win thanks to a late game goal from Alan Gordon.
Who else?
This is what he does.
Yeah.
This is what he does. But this was pretty negative result for Montreal. It's not looking good for them and their postseason hopes, Calen, because they are now 4 points behind the Red Bulls. Red Bulls have a game in hand.
Yeah. That's over. I hate to say it because I love Montreal, but this was watching two teams that basically knew they were done effectively. Montreal's lost 7 of their last games, so I don't really need to say it. Their play has shown that they don't have what it takes right now. And I think the silver lining for me is a chance to honor Patrice Bernier. I hope they send him out in style. An absolute MLS legend, Canadian national team, and just a great citizen.
Great guy.
For our league and for the game. So shout out to Patrice. And I hope they do him right to honor him and keep him within the club. Such a valuable resource.
More bro hugs for you and Patrice in the future.
Shout out to Patrice.
I see it. I see it. He's the best. Okay, so we talked about the Crew clinching a playoff spot this weekend. The Chicago Fire also clinched a playoff spot. They are coming off a 1-1 draw against NYCFC. They are battling it out with Atlanta, who had a 0-0 draw against New England. They're sort of right there in the table, but they're fighting for a chance to host in the knockout round. Which of these teams do you think it would be more valuable to be at home, to play at home? I know my thoughts.
What's your thoughts?
Chicago.
Let's hear them. Chicago.
Yes, because they've played so well at Toyota Park this year, and that just seems to be a bit of a little fortress for them. Not a great result for them this weekend at home, but they still pick up a point. But I feel like it's more important for Chicago to have that home field
I agree
advantage.
with you. And I think NYCFC is actually the better of the two teams, the most playoff ready. When you look at their experience, even last year, even though they had a terrible outing against TFC, they've come back this year and been much stronger. Now, still some problems as far as playing out of the back. Morales ends up gifting a goal to Nikolic.
I was so puzzled by that.
But then he makes good on the other side.
No, he definitely made up for it.
To David Villa. So
that was
in some
a head
ways,
scratcher.
Morales may decide the Golden Boot race. I'm excited to watch that because we have David Villa on 20. We have Nemanja Nikolic now on 21, and Diego Valeri on 20. Josef Martinez creeping just behind at 18. So I think that's going to be one of the more interesting storylines coming down to decision day, is who's going to get the Golden Boot.
More goals.
And that may also decide the MVP.
Do you think?
All of those guys.
How much do you think that sort of impacts the MVP race?
Well, people like goals.
I mean, I love goals.
Yeah, I don't think that Nikolic is going to win. I don't think he's in the running, but I do think it will come down to Valeri or Villa, and I think whichever one of those two can end up
because we've talked about this,
will give them an edge. I still give the edge to Diego Valeri,
yes,
because of what he's done without Fernando Adi. But David Villa should not be diminished what he's been able to do this season.
No, he's all right.
Well,
he's a pretty decent player.
I don't think he needs my validation. Yes.
I would say. Calen, it's about that time, buddy.
All right, let's do it.
Hit that button.
All right.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I love it. So I'm going to start. I'm going to take this one away.
Take it.
Did you see that? Jack Harrison named to England's under-21 team. This is a big deal. This was a huge, huge deal. So deserved. His teammates were super happy about it. David Villa posted a really cute little Instagram post. Frank Lampard, his former teammate, also giving him some love. Just a huge accomplishment for Jack Harrison. He has been so good for NYCFC, and I think this is a really well-deserved and a big deal.
Well, it's a good thing for the league too, as well, because Jack Harrison is a young player. He's featured in our 24 under 24. I think he was finished at what number?
Maybe 3?
Number 3?
Was it 3? I think
so to have a top young player in our league getting called by the English national team shows really about the progress and growth of the league overall and the overall health of, especially of young players like the Albert Feliz from Honduras, who I think should have been higher on the list.
Ooh.
Excuse me. But yeah, congratulations to Jack, and I think well deserved.
Absolutely. Did you see that?
Did you see that?
I just wanted to hit it again.
I know.
No, my Did You See That is another young player, and it's an American young player, Marcus Epps, with a nice goal for the Philadelphia Union. The pride of Jackson, Mississippi. Please check out our movement episode from there.
It's a great one.
The story of Marcus. But yeah, he does well, and I love his goal celebration. He's got a little bit of something, hitting those dance moves. So shout out to Marcus, and check out the movement. Shameless plug.
Oh my goodness, you just love
That's one of my favorite episodes. So.
It was really great. You do a lot of great work.
Thank you very
Fine
much.
work.
You too, Big Suze.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Guys, that's going to do it for today. Before we go, though, we've had a lot of fun here, but it's not all fun and games. We just want to send our best out to everybody in Las Vegas and people who were affected by the tragic shooting that happened out there. Just unthinkable stuff. And, we want to just, pay tribute to the people that were affected by this.
I mean, yeah, so a reminder that life is bigger than soccer and
than
results
sports,
on the field.
exactly.
But, yeah, I guess let's all come together and show love, and that's kind of all we can do at a time
Exactly,
like this,
exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, buddy. Guys,
right.
Thank you so much for watching. Get in those comments. Tell us what you want to hear. Like, subscribe, do all of that. Have yourself a great week. We'll see you soon.
See ya.